This is an hour-long video, but stick with me, I will explain why in the next minute. If you already know how this works, go ahead and skip to 1 minute to start the backing track. Over the holidays, I watched the entirety of Netflix's The Crown in about 24 hours, and I loved it. The characterization, the relationships, the rising tension, it was perfect. The only thing I would change about it is everything. I would turn it into a comedy musical. So, that's exactly what I did. This is The CROON, a comedy musical backing track for Netflix's The Crown. All you have to do is load up the first episode on Netflix, mute the episode, zero it up, and get ready to press play when I say 3, 2, 1, click. And then this video will count as your audio. If you've never seen The Crown, don't worry, you don't need to know anything about it to watch this version. If you liked The Crown, here's a reason to rewatch it. If you didn't like The Crown, this is completely different. If you're wearing the crown, hi Queen Elizabeth, and if you work for Netflix, I look forward to your cease and desist letter. So without further ado, here's the first episode of The CROON. Go ahead and get the first episode ready and buffered on Netflix. I'll wait here for a second so it's all sorted. Alright, zero it up and press play in 3, 2, 1, click.
Netflix.
Not quite a Netflix original series. All things on this earth sprung first from the darkness, the great void that enveloped all reality. Oh, no, wait, sorry, just kidding, we're in Buckerman's Palace, 1947. King Gord VI was beginning his day by screaming his morning affirmations at the sink. "I've got a nice set of teeth!" Halfway through his dental self-compliments, he switched his yelling to the loo, and he found himself a magical surprise. Thoroughly exhausted from his vigorous screeching, he glanced down at the toilet and found a beautiful raspberry Jackson Pollock piece. He mused. "Perhaps my king meat is almost ripe." And he flushed the toilet. Meanwhile, Princess Liz was blissfully unaware of the servant placing a discreet bug in the flower vase. Liz was far too preoccupied with the doormen and how they seemed to be having a real stinker of a day. "Where are the doormen?" Prince Phallip stood on the other side of the door, pretending to know how to sign his name, while Lord Shatzendoof prattled on about the ins and outs of the marriage documents. Liz let out a nervous toot, which was perfectly picked up by the flower mic.
"And this document states that I get all your Yu-Gi-Oh cards if you die or whatever, just sign it."
"Huh?" said Prince Phallip, who was busy thinking about boats. Liz sighed as the doormen popped open the doors for King Gord, their only use in the day fulfilled in the shatter of an instant. Liz crossed career doorwoman off her mental job prospects. Gord found himself a bit taken aback by Prince Phallip's handsome yet vacant stare, and forgot the beginning of his spiel about how marrying his daughter was like borrowing a car or something else slightly misogynistic. Instead, Gord withdrew into his mind palace and gave a rousing rendition of Scatman John's Scatman's World. "I'm calling out from Scatland. I'm calling out from Scatman's World. If you want to break free, you better listen to me. You've got to learn how to see. In your fantasy." Gord lifted the ceremonial sword and made a shing sound with his mouth. Prince Phallip began to weep, forgetting that this was a knighting and not an execution, and through his tears admitted to hitting a gopher with a cricket bat in his younger days. "No worries, my boy," said King Gord. "We've all gone gopher cricketing in our younger days," and pinned a toy sheriff badge onto Phallip's lapel. For a moment, Gord thought that Phallip saw through the shiny piece of plastic on his coat, but all Phallip saw was something shiny, and that was all he ever needed. Gord belched the ceremonial belch, the signifier that he was done with the ceremony and Phallip's knighting was complete. Phallip's father, Lord Definitely Not a Bad Guy, congratulated his son with a wink and a prolonged kiss on the forehead, lasting nearly as long as the ceremony itself. As for Phallip, he was so happy he could sing. So that is exactly what he did. Hey baby, do you mind if I light up a spliff? I've been jonesing for one, and now if we're getting married, I don't want to seem harried.
Just take a little whiff. If you want a toke, just say so.
No,
Come on and give it a go.
I'm a princess, not a pothead.
Ha! That's what they all said. Prince Phallip's got a straight-laced bow. The prince and the princess, soon to be joined in matrimony. Nothing phony. Let's tie the knot, just you and me, the two of us together. No matter the weather, rain or shine, we still live in a palace, and what could be better? Because we are going to rule the land, two royal friends, so loving, and we'll be married soon enough. The two of us together, no matter the weather. Better, because we are going to rule the land, two royal friends, so loving, and we'll be married soon enough.
I'll catch you later, lizard. Mwah.
Liz was infatuated, and the person listening into the microphone in the vase was understandably confused.
Don't it feel like one of those days? Things are going crazy in a million ways. The milk's gone sour and your pants are too tight. And whoopsie daisy, now you got to find right. Everybody seems to think that you're odd, just because you went and got anointed by God. Your church and your country are all in a mess, and you spilled soup on your coronation dress. But you know you can count on your friends, or the hundreds of employed servants on whom you depend. Your other rivals might put you in fear, but you tell those goons the Buckingham stops here. Oh, out you go, nothing can hold you down. Life is unsteady, but you're nothing but ready to hold the weight of the crown. The itty bitty weight of the crown. Taking care of busy, can count on Queen Liz, holding the weight of the crown. Oh.
By all accounts, the Marquis de Sade was a real grundle puncher, but even he didn't make the most arthritic men in the nation dress him in the morning.
I love watching your little hands flop about on my chest like dumb fish, Studebaker,
Gord said to his loathsome attendant.
Now, let me see the other old person.
Okay, said Studebaker, switching spots with Mustardson.
How are your joints today?
Asked Gord.
It is like someone replaced them with fire ants, sir.
Replied Mustardson, and at once the fire in his cartilage metastasized to his emotions, and he was filled with rage. The king spoke to the unintelligible Admiral Townboy, and at once Mustardson seized his opportunity and did a very poor job of throttling Gord. Gord, of course, had known of his plans all along because he had found Mustardson's diary in the underwear drawer just the week earlier.
How dare you? Cried Gord, and when my king meat is almost fully ripe.
Hey, now, Papa Bear, let's cool them just for a second.
Mumbled Admiral Townboy, and he sang the king's favorite lullaby.
Sleepy king, dream about digging a hole. Sleepy king, to befriend a sleepy dream vole. The vole in the hole, he predicts a great toll. A toll from a soul atop a grassy knoll. The vole in the hole has predicted the day in Dallas a man would fall named JFK. And the vole he chose me to say, hey, sleepy king, dream about digging a hole. Sleepy king, befriend a sleepy dream vole. The vole in the hole, he predicts a great toll. A toll from a soul atop a I see no.
Oh, I love that lullaby, said Gord, although I have no idea who JFK is.
King Gord relished in his quick jaunt down the stairs in Buckerman's palace. The stairs had only been installed a few years earlier due to the fact that, before then, stairs hadn't been invented. Buckerman's palace was the first place in the UK to have stairs, which would explain the long line of stair enthusiasts just waiting for a chance to walk up and down those beautiful blocky beauties. Princess Margarine said her goodbyes after taking one last lusty look at the stairs, and King Gord assured Liz that there would be stairs at the church. He had made sure to put them in very special for this occasion. Prince Philip was excited. "A bird, whoa," he said, looking at what was in fact just a moth. He backed up to join his caretaker Strongson, where they chatted about Philip's favorite colors before being rudely interrupted by an especially sassy beat. All of the mustachioed men in the audience knew that that meant Britain's greatest inventor was arriving. And boy, were their loins tingling in anticipation.
Don't act surprised when you know it's me, the real WC, that sweet churchy. When Winnie's coming through, y'all best believe shit's about to get real. I'm a human blitzkrieg. Now everybody wanna take their shots at me, saying this can't be in this democracy. Got a feeling all these bitches is about to be swayed. Cast a very large shadow, but I throw more shade. Ooh, I do what I want to, and I love to make things shiny and new. It's true, I'm in my prime, and soon that'll be Prime Minister to you. Oh, Churchy's coming through. I don't know about you, but this bulldog can't hide when there's inventing to do. Though it's been a while, Winnie's back in style. So just stand aside, cause there's inventing to do. Alright, step back, time to get real. I know it's a wedding, but I'm a pretty big deal. I will put you through hell, but you better keep going. My pride and my prowess are equally growing. I'm the best inventor and I'm rarely wrong. And you'll still be ugly at the end of the song. It's gonna be me, no use to fight it. History will be kind to me, cause I'll write it. Ooh, I do what I want to, and I love to make things shiny and new. It's true, I'm in my prime, and soon that'll be Prime Minister to you. Oh, Churchy's coming through. I don't know about you, but this bulldog can't hide when there's inventing to do. Though it's been a while, Churchy's back in style. So just stand aside, cause there's inventing to do. Yeah.
Hanging like a garbage person onto the back of the chariot was our very own doorman, excited that for the first time in his life he was allowed to move a door located on a different hinge. He held his hand to his hat in a funny new salute he was trying, and was blissfully unaware of the moss green boys making fun of it behind him.
That's a dumb salute,
said Gord to the doorman, reducing the doorman to his natural state of endless depression and ennui. The doorman leaned down and wiped his tears on Liz's fresh wedding dress, absorbent like a chamois. Luckily, Liz didn't mind too much. The choir boys sang in an unintelligible dead language, and yet the melody portrayed a sense of hope. Gord pointed out the few steps that they would have a chance to walk upon, but instead of jumping with glee as Liz normally did during stair talk, she stayed quiet and somber.
Here's a step, and another one,
said Gord, trying to lighten the mood, but Liz was too focused on her surroundings. Was she doing the right thing? At the altar, Philip had similar existential thoughts, such as, why are those dudes carrying large T's? And with that thought, he patted himself on the back, for he had remembered a letter of the alphabet. Mama and Grandmother Quarterstern scowled, waiting to use the stink bombs they had kept clandestine under their hats. Liz finally conquered her nerves about getting married, remembering what her schoolteacher told her about the true meaning of weddings.
When people think of weddings, they always think of rings. But that's not the most important part of the show. Some people think that love is the only important thing, but those people are dumb cause they don't know that a wedding is all about the canapes. Without hors d'oeuvres you might as well annul. A wedding is judged by its snack trays. Without some finger food, a wedding's dull. So what if you don't love him? So what if he's a dunce? Just grab some crab rangoon and you'll be fine. I got cold feet before my wedding and I made a lot of fuss, but they made pigs in a blanket, so I made him mine. Yes, a wedding is all about the canapes. Without a sampler platter, it's divorce. Yes, a wedding is judged by its snack trays. A marriage without crostini will run its course. Oh, a wedding is all about the canapes. Grab me some cheesy tater tots. Oh, a wedding is judged by its snack trays, so tie the knot with lots of garlic knots. Oh, a wedding is all about the canapes. Without hors d'oeuvres, you might as well annul. Yes, a wedding is judged by its snack trays. Without some finger food, a wedding's dull.
Fake!
Yelled the photographer.
I can totally tell there's no castle behind you.
But Fallop wasn't convinced. Unfortunately for the happy couple, Mama and grandmother Quarterstern were plotting in the corner.
I have been plotting the death of Liz since she was born. I must have her head on a spike soon, or else I will never regain my youthful beauty.
Quarterstern croaked.
Look, I planted a bomb on that weird lady.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Shut up. Watch. It can only be diffused by a sweet kiss, and no one will want to kiss that weird lady.
But what about Fallop? He kisses everyone.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Fallop is a big smoocher. Huh? Oh, hey, lady, let me lay one on ya. Mwah. See what I mean?
Shit.
Mumbled Grandmother Quarterstern. Whoa, we're in a different place now. And the photographer kindly reminded Fallop that he was an idiot. As Quarterstern was brought up for photographs, she began to piece together the other perfect plot.
In that box you'll find a gift. Little Liz, you'll find one swell. In that box you'll find a gift that will send you straight to hell. There's a toy that I concocted, something special for you to keep. When you play with that fine toy, you will take an eternal sleep. In that camera you will see, she will find her demise. It's a gun in the shape of a camera. It's gonna shoot her in the eyes. Wait, why'd you put it back in the box? That was not part of the plan. Why can't Gord just grow a bit of a backbone? He is really not an assertive man. Go ahead and smoke that cig. Your king meat needs to be riper. But while you're busy breathing deep, I'll be radioing my sniper. Wait, Mama was supposed to be my sniper. She shows such incompetence. Quarterstern needs a better minion because Mama is so dense. Maybe if no one is looking, I can just, give little Liz a push. But Buckman's palace has a garden, so she would just land in a bush. So I'll just stand here and scowl, grimly looking at my prey, getting ready to plot a plan that will work on another day. Yeah. Oh, that will work on another day.
Moments after her wedding, Liz fell into an exposition wormhole and found herself expecting a sweet baby child whose only purpose seemed to be waving gardening equipment around. This child was Charlize, the less important child compared to his younger sister, Arnold. Arnold was the most loved, partially due to her temper and partially because Charlize was the literal Antichrist, come to bring woe to the world. Liz awoke suddenly from this strange time warp and found herself in the presence of several hunky men.
Yeah! Both boys! Both boys! Both boys! Both boys! We got some boys rowing in the ocean, a couple of hunks just causing a commotion. Check out our vibes as we pump and sweat. The water ain't the only thing that's making you wet. These boys ain't just nautical, and it isn't purely homoerotical. We wear nice slacks when it's necessary, ma'am, but we much prefer showing off our hairy dams. Both boys, the ocean is our bathtub, boys. Give the poop deck a good scrub, both boys. We've never seen a land shrub, boys. Navy men just having a party. We got some kids around, so we can't get naughty. Handing out medals to the best of the best. Pin that baby onto his muscular chest. Got his parties bumping, every getting nasty. Bad boys, both boys, freaky when they classy. Both boys, shredding the novice. Both boys, champagne and cigar fizz. Both boys, we don't know what a car is. Both boys, both boys.
Charlize, the demon child, whispered an angry curse at Grub Hubbins, the phone answerer. Luckily, the phone rang and Grub Hubbins was able to escape the deathly stare of the boy. "Who would have thought that I could love a boat boy so much?" began Liz, while Grub Hubbins trotted off towards the phone.
Grub Hubbins?
He answered, and the man on the other line started into the standard "Is your refrigerator running?" gag. They both had a good laugh, but in fact, the true purpose of the call was to relay very important information. Information that would change Liz's life forever. Charlize feigned respect for his dumb father, and Philip feigned any sort of understanding of the world around him. Liz stepped away for a moment, and Grub Hubbins relayed the spectacular news.
My lady,
He started,
the king meat is finally ripe.
and the whole room erupted into joyous applause. The king meat ceremony is something that every royal must go through. Every royal is born with a special organ in their body that gives them the right to rule. As they grow and progress, this king meat ripens, and when the meat is sweetest, they must cut it out and cook it up in order to give back to their country. It just so happened that Gord was under the knife right now.
Cooking up some king meat on the line.
Cut it there.
And slice it fine. Keeping up a gruesome pantomime. Because it's king meat harvest time.
The king meat supervisors kept at the gruesome deed while Liz and Fallop arrived at Buckerman's palace. Everyone understood how important the king meat ceremony was, and everyone was getting excited for the upcoming king meat day. Although Gord would soon be dead, the festivities were well worth it. Charlize and Arnold couldn't wait for a slice of the king meat.
Why do we need the king meat?
It's for our land. The king meat day must go as planned. Why do we slice and dice? It keeps us whole. The king must give his meat to save our soul.
When Liz arrived in the waiting room, she found it filled with laughter and good vibes. Never has there been a happier group of people. Quarterstern was so excited that she didn't even feel like killing Liz.
They say this is the best king meat in 100 years.
Said Quarterstern. Well, let's certainly hope that it is, said Liz.
The piece.
The piece. We cut it perfectly. Place the piece into the pot so I can dance with glee. Nothing could be better than what we've stumbled upon. Yes, it seems this cut is some king filet mignon. Family and friends, thank you for your patience. The harvest of the king meat was something mighty tense. but the meat has come out fine, so there's no need to worry. Our land will surely prosper now that king is one lung free.
Fallop, the curious child that he is, decided to take a quick peek at the freshly sliced flesh. He walked past several doormen, all of them very displeased with the fact that they were forced to watch the entirety of the king meat harvest.
Hey, why are you guys wearing pajamas?
Asked Fallop, but the king meat supervisors kept on with their grim deed, making their wailing noises and slathering a good barbecue rub onto Gord's king meat before wrapping it up in parchment paper and bringing it to the smoker for a low, slow 12-hour cook.
Cooking up the king meat, cooking up the king meat, cooking up the king meat, cooking up the king meat.
The kitchen smelled delicious as they prepared the king meat. The holiday season was upon them, and the holiday was King Meat Day. The hustle and bustle almost brought joy to the lives of the doormen. Almost.
I wonder which inventor is going to be the prime minister now that the king has started the sweepstakes.
Mumbled Town Boy, speaking of the invention competition that occurs after each king meat harvest. The king meat sweepstakes has 3 parts. A British inventor designs an incredible gift to help send the king into the afterlife. The winner gets a special date with the king to present the idea, and the inventor is named prime minister, because that's literally the only way I could have forced this plotline to make sense.
Maybe one day I'll win the king meat sweepstakes.
Thought the doorman, a dream that would inevitably be crushed. King Gord woke up a bit lighter in the metaphorical and literal sense. His king meat removed, he could finally be free of his standard responsibilities.
Finally,
He yelled at Lord Schatzendoof,
I can call you Crinklemeyer without anyone getting offended.
and Schatzendoof, although he was fairly certain Crinklemeyer wasn't an insult, felt fairly offended. Gord gracefully swung his lusty body from the bed and stared at the news on the television. The King Meat sweepstakes winner had been found. King Gord wasn't sure if he would like the winner, but the television showed the best surprise he could have asked for. Not only was the sweepstakes winner a genius, it was none other than the effervescent beauty, Winetone Churchy. I wish I could say I was surprised by the outcome, but I'm the only intelligent man in this entire country, said Churchy in his iconic sensual voice. But below his cool demeanor was nothing but an anxious boy getting prepped for a first date. With the help of his security dog, Churchy whipped through the angry throng of losing inventors. They tried to disarm Churchy with loud clapping noises, which everyone knows is Churchy's least favorite noise. But he persisted, and he made it up to his office, even after a very jealous man stole his cane and his hat. Churchy slurped the aphrodisiac potion he had ordered from his doctor, while the doctor advised him not to get too attached to King Gord. Pish-tosh, exclaimed Churchy. I've never done anything half-assed, least of all in the game of love.
You are already the perfect man, Churchy,
said the doctor.
You won the sweepstakes, and our prime minister. Why not just leave it at that?
Because, said Churchy. Because.
I used to think that I was doing fine. Churchy always got his way. But now it seems that I was just in line, waiting patiently for this day. I have the chance to show the king my best. Maybe this is my fate. Oh, I will do whatever at his behest. This will be the perfect date.
The doctor continued to warn Churchy about not getting too involved with Gord, but Churchy was already planning his introduction and thinking about how he would present the sweepstakes-winning video game idea.
Please say that's enough rouge, sir,
said Mustardson.
No, it's not. More rouge, Mustardson,
exclaimed Gord, who wanted to look the absolute rougiest for his special date.
I always thought that this late in my life, love was just a long-lost dream. But this inventor, Churchy, seems like the perfect man. Can he be all that he seems? With my king meat gone, I feel a lesser king. But this invention will bring me joy. But better than this device, I cannot wait to play with my heart new man toy.
As Churchy drove in, he went over the words in the presentation in his head. This video game's about hunting ducks. Hunting ducks, he over-enunciated. But his worries faded when he laid eyes on Gord.
Come to you, my king, with an idea. Something called a video game. Oh, a light gun shooting ducks on a screen, and the duck falls where you aim.
Never before have I heard a plan like this. So virile and so bright. Oh, I think you'll need to explain it to me slowly. Would you like to spend the night?
We seem to be two kindred souls.
You are what I have been dreaming of.
We can work together toward these common goals. Greatest Britain and the greatest love. One day we'll be playing video games, thinking back on how we met. Oh, seeing your sweet face when we are even older. This day will be something I won't forget. I will finish this hunting game so soon.
I certainly hope that you will. Oh, but for now we'll just make love in this room. Because we have a lot of time to kill. But for now we'll just make love in this room.
Because we have a lot of time to kill.
By the way, I am dying next week, so I do hope you get that game done quickly.
Winetone Churchy didn't realize that King Gord was dying so soon. He had promised the most perfect duck hunting game the world had ever seen, but that kind of technology couldn't be created in such a short time span. In a tizzy, he called up his old rival, Matilda, and brought her to the Ten House, the hottest inventor club in town. Matilda hated Churchy and was less than pleased, but she owed him a favor from the Gruyere Cliff incident, so she came along. Churchy did a perfect booty tooch for the paparazzi, who were very excited for this strange reunion, and the two inventors went inside. It seemed like only Viborg Whippersnap had read the memo that Churchy hated clapping noises, so she kept her hands down. Like a moth to a flame, Churchy was drawn to the point of silence in the room. The Ten House used to show some respect, exclaimed Churchy.
I didn't clap. I just want to mention that,
said Viborg Whippersnap. Okay, you can stay, said Churchy, and all the other women were immediately executed as Churchy went to discuss the invention with Matilda. Unfortunately, Matilda had a different plan.
I thought I'd have some more time. No one told me when I won that the invention had to be done so soon. Why can't he be mine forever? I gotta plan my life a little better. I gotta get my life together. Come on, help me, Matilda. I lied about my invention. So it's time for a little suspension.
Of a disbelief, can you ask him for a little more space to build the hunting duck disgrace?
No, he's gonna die real soon, so I gotta live up to my rep. Go away, dumb servant, you can't help. Oh, Prime Minister can be so hard to be, ministering inventions to the land of the free. My time's here.
Ain't got nothing to fear, cause with Matilda here we can disappear.
Are you sure about that, Matilda?
Don't worry, Churchy, I got you.
I had this great idea just the other day. Just pretend you are working on it and let him pass away.
Just forget about Gord until he dies, but he is gonna hate me when he learns I lied. Just run away from my responsibility. Maybe if I disappear, he won't hate me. I will never forget about our great flirtation, but I care too much about my reputation.
Disappear with me.
Disappear with you.
It's a crazy idea, but it's what you gotta do.
Liz walked into her home to find Fallop trying his best to speak with a wooden block that he had mistaken for a phone.
Hello, is this the police? I want to report a broken phone,
He yelled. Liz loved the man, but boy was he an idiot. Maybe the world shouldn't be in the hands of men, she thought to herself. Or maybe the problem is that I only know men with the IQ of a lima bean. She had a quick goodbye with her family and went outside to clear her head. Fallop smiled and asked Arnold if she knew how to fix a phone. I don't suppose you doormen understand what it's like to be overqualified and stuck in a position surrounded by idiots, Liz asked.
Not at all.
Said the doorman, even though he understood exactly what it was like. Meanwhile, Admiral Townboy was answering a call from a terribly disguised grandmother Quarterstern.
How did Liz enjoy her meal?
She said,
Assassination attempt, like JFK.
said Townboy, and he hung up the phone. He was used to Quarterstern's weekly calls with plans to murder Liz, so he trotted off to warn her. Hello, ladies. Thank you for coming to this meal, which is definitely safe. My name is Ma'am. I mean, it's Melanie. Happy to have you. Man, this is great.
Now hold up 1 second, little lady. I don't believe you.
Well, you should. Yeah, what's the deal here?
Chill JFK, you she cooked up the poison.
I doubt that I could. I am so flattered. You think I'm that cunning?
I don't think it's you, I think it's Gord Stern. She's the mastermind behind all of these threats.
There's nothing for you here, please can you leave, miss? We all know you're trying.
Trying to kill Liz. She just won't die when we're to save her. Might as well give up, don't get in a tiz. Seems like we call you.
Oh, dagnabbit, Quarterstern won't be happy with me. Please, can you just eat the poison, or else Quarterstern will make me drink pee? Do you ever get tired of being stuck here? Asked Liz, while the doorman removed the poison food. It seems like everyone is focused on dumb things, nothing concrete,
I don't know what you mean,
said Princess Margarine.
but I'm thinking of asking Townboy to be my rhythmic gymnastics partner.
That's what I mean, said Liz. No one seems to care about governing, and Townboy seems weirdly obsessed with someone called JFK.
But Townboy is the only one who shares my passion for rhythmic gymnastics.
Oh, I have no clue where you're getting that idea.
The man we keep in the glass box told me he did.
Oh, this is ludicrous. We don't keep a man in a glass box. And the sisters sat in discontented silence. Maybe one day I'll get out of this glass box. Maybe one day I will. King Gord had spent all day doodling Churchy's name onto the composition notebook he kept on his desk. He was so incredibly happy after their afternoon of love that he couldn't stop thinking about Churchy or the bespoke duck hunting video game Churchy would make for King Meat Day. Gord had invited the King Meat supervisor up so he could have a little boast about the fun new gift he was about to receive.
Did you know I'm going to have a hot new video game? Said Gord, and it's coming from a hot new man. It's real love, too, because he gave me this cute handkerchief as a token of our love. Aren't you impressed?
The King Meat supervisor sighed for a moment, for he knew some terrible news about that duck hunting video game.
Good, I'm sorry to tell you the video game is far behind schedule.
Began the supervisor.
In fact, Churchy has gone missing. He lied to you. He lied to us all.
What? What do you mean? That can't be. I was never afraid to die. The King Meat was fated to leave. But this news of Churchy's absence is the thing that is making me grieve. He gave me
me such hope. But it seems I'm the dope for allowing him to deceive me.
Good. I understand your disappointment, but it's just a video game, not the end of the world.
I'm not done singing yet. This is more than a video game. It was a promise from a man to a man. Churchy and I had the promise of love. This video game was how that began. But he lied to my face, and now in disgrace I see that he is a sham.
Hey, on the upside.
Just let me have the screen for a moment. Churchy must have wanted the fame and put his dumb name in the marquee. I thought he spoke truth, but the game is the proof that Churchy was lying to me. To me.
The whole world is endless despair, King Gord sobbed, and absolutely nothing will make it right again. My soul is shattered. Do not attempt to repair it, for there is no glue in the world that can put me back together again. All joy is exiled, all happy songs banished. Do not show me joy, for it only crushed me further.
God, I'm so happy to be on a train. I never thought that I would be this way. Hanging with my bestie buds, Gord is happy and I'm in love. This boat boy is a train man today. Choo choo choo, all aboard. The happy train is leaving the station. Nothing is better than a bestie buddy time, having a little train vacation. I might not be too bright, but I can really tell that Gord wants me to sing my happy tune. Liz and Gord and I will be happy till we die, and maybe for old Gord that will be soon. Choo choo choo, all aboard. The happy train is leaving the station. Nothing is better than a bestie buddy time, having a little train vacation. Choo choo! King meet day, king meet day. Bless the king and his meat, hooray! We are simple peasants and our prayer is thus: don't forget the king meet and don't forget us. King meet day, king meet day. We are peasants and we don't receive pay. Economic inequality is our life. The king finds it funny when we live in strife. King meet day, king meet day. He is food off a silver tray. Our trays are made of splintery wood, but he's our king, so it's all good. King meet day, king meet day. Celebrate the king and his meat and say, we love you, king, and all you do, but please let us come live with you.
As is tradition, the smallest peasant presented Gord with the king meat box, and within it lay a measly paper crown.
Thank you, I suppose, said Gord, but I already have one of these and it's way cooler. Look how dumb this one looks on my head,
He said mockingly, and the small peasant broke into tears. That kind that Gord loved to see.
To be honest, he said, I'd hoped that I would gotten a video game, but it wasn't meant to be.
And in accordance with tradition, he reached down and ripped the arm off the little peasant.
King me dear, king me dear, king me dear. What do you think?
It was bad.
King meet day, King Meat Day. We don't care that you're all eating fillet. Our nourishment comes from sticks and rocks, but we still had to give you a King Meat box. King Meat Day, King Meat Day. We thought about a coup, but that seems cray. Instead we figure we will just pretend and hope that we will be rich in the end. And hope that we will be rich in the end.
When Gord finished singing with the peasants, he burst into tears. What a terrible King Meat Day this was for him. Liz began to feel sad for Gord, and Mama, not understanding social cues, began to clap, but Charlize made sure that came to an end quickly. Stop that.
Well, that's more than enough of that. Please go back to farming, or whatever it is you do. Don't come back ever again.
Whatever on earth the doormen did in a past life to deserve to be reincarnated as doormen, it must have been atrocious. Today their job was to be an obstacle course for the devil child Charlize, who loved nothing more than to run headfirst into their rickety shins. The only thing stopping him from doing worse was the careful and kind eye of his mother, and so when she was taken away, the doormen trembled to think what would come.
Tremble, feeble doormen,
rasped Charlize. You are right to be scared.
I've taken a moment of respite from my endless depression to do my duty, began Gord. As you know, I'm not long for this world, and you must come up as the next royal. As such, there is a special talk I must give you.
Well, all right, said Liz.
Okay, here we go with the talk. Get ready for it. Here we go. There comes a time when every royal has to give the talk to the next one. The day after King Meat Day, we must toil to make sure that the talk gets done. It's so very important for us to have the talk. No royal is complete without having it. The talk has to happen, it's the never-ending clock, ticking towards an ever closer tick. Let us have the talk that must be had. Once we have the talk, oh, we will be so glad. Sometimes we must walk the walk, but right now that's not so. We must have the talk, so here we go.
I think I understand that the talk is very key. You've mentioned that to me quite a lot. But if the talk is so important, why not just give me the talk right here and now on the spot? Oh, no, I thought that you were going to say something. Please, Papa Gord, let's get this show on the road, and we will be done with this dumb thing. Let us have the talk that must be had. Once we have the talk, oh, we will be so glad. Sometimes we must walk the walk, but right now that's not so. We must have the talk, so here we go.
I'm sorry, Liz, I cannot focus. I think that I am much too sadly. This talk is the most important of your life, and it seems that I'm doing it badly.
You can do it, Gord. I believe in you. This is the greatest sadness I have seen. But I know you can be happy, and I need to have the talk, or else I will be a terrible queen.
Let us have the talk that must be had. Once we have the talk, oh, we will be so glad. Sometimes we must walk the walk, but right now that's not so. We must have the talk, so here we go.
Come on, Papa Gord, I know that you can pull through.
All right, Liz, I'll give it a shot.
What's this talk about? Come on, I've got things to do.
I guess I'm so sad that I forgot. Oh, let us have the talk that must be had. Once we have the talk, oh, we will be so glad. Sometimes we must walk the walk, but right now that's not so. We have the talk, so here we go. Jolly work, Liz. Good talking with you. Go ahead and make sure to give this same exact talk to your successor when your queen meat is removed.
But I don't know what this talk entails.
Precisely. Have fun with it.
Look, Fallop, I need you to concentrate. My father has something very wrong with him, a depression so deep he couldn't even remember the talk that is so vital to a quick transition of royal power. He's so broken up about Churchy that he cannot even enjoy his final days.
Wait, Gord is your dad?
Please, Fallop, I just need you to help. It should be very simple.
Yesterday I tried to open a peanut butter jar and then it got stuck on my foot, and I don't know how that happened.
Fallop, I've already made the plan. You don't need to do anything difficult or mentally taxing.
Charlize interrupted the conversation with a demon's incantation, which stole Fallop's already small amount of focus. Gord continued weeping in the corner, and Liz made up her mind.
Fallop, I just need you to bring Gord out to the boats tomorrow. Can you do that for me?
Boats? Asked Fallop, and Liz waited as the slow gears in his brain ticked away.
I like birds,
he exclaimed, and Liz felt a great weight lift from her shoulders. The plan was in action. If Churchy wasn't going to bring Gord happiness, she would.
That misty morning wake up sometimes feels amiss. How can you greet the sunrise when you feel like this? You just get up and squeeze that lung, go up the throat and over past the tongue. Oh, the best part of waking up is coughing up some blood. Yeah, the best part of waking up is coughing up some blood. Oh, you thought that was the best, but it hardly passed the test. You got a secret vice to get up off your chest. Oh, the best part of waking up is Prince Fallop's nude butt. Yeah, the best part of waking up is seeing that prince butt. Please don't sue us, Folgers.
For the first time in a long time, Gord smiled. There was something about catching Fallop in the nude that reminded him of his promiscuous younger days. Although he had planned to mope in his office all day, this joyous wake-up convinced him to follow Fallop out onto the boats. A mysterious note in his room had told him to go there, although it didn't explain why. It was signed WC, and though Gord had a hint of what that might mean, he didn't dare think it. Fallop was similarly confused about the whole boat business, but he liked boats enough and loved Liz enough to go out onto them. "Oh, yay, boats wobbling, woo," said Fallop, and Gord smiled the same way you smile at a puppy chasing its tail.
Come up here for a moment, would you, Fallop?
Asked Gord, and Fallop came up and popped a squat.
Do you know why we're out here today? No, I mean, that wasn't rhetorical. Do you know? I have no idea.
And Fallop looked down into his coat pocket, which held another small note. Fallop remembered Liz gave it to him for this very moment, so he produced the note and handed it to Gord. Gingerly, Gord opened it and began to read.
Dearest Gord, I know this seems cowardly, but I just couldn't bear to face you. I know that I could not get my duck hunting video game up to snuff in time before you snuffed it. It's a good play on words. But I figured I could at least give you the real-world equivalent. Consider this my real-life duck hunt game, which is, I suppose, just hunting ducks. Love, WC. Who gave you this?
Asked Gord, holding back tears. Liz had written the note just the evening prior and handed it to Fallop, but luckily, Fallop had been zoning out and didn't know what was going on. So he paused, and he thought, and he said the best answer he could muster. Someone special.
She did this for me. Our love is as true as any's been. One final real-life video game Duck Hunt on the real world screen.
I suppose it's time for me to be queen. I imagine that is for the best, because everyone around me is incompetent, and I think I am up for the test.
Sometimes I wish that I knew what was going on, but mostly I'm just happy that I'm on a boat. Complex thoughts make my brain feel sad. Boat, 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 boat.
We will find our joy, hey ho. The king, the future queen, and our boat boy, hey ho. As we walk on down the line, the triple crown will make it just fine, hey ho. We will find our joy, hey ho. The king, the future queen, and our boat boy, hey ho. As we walk on down the line, the triple crown will make it just fine, hey ho. We will find our joy, hey ho. The king, the future queen, and our boat boy, hey ho. As we walk on down the line, the triple crown will make it just fine, hey ho. Hey ho. Yeah! Oh yeah! Ruling a kingdom is a lot like chess, mostly because all of the names are the same. Everyone knows that the queen is the best, so I guess ruling a kingdom is just like a game. In checkers you can also king a piece. King of the hill is another royal name. I think you could also draw parallels to Pokemon, so ruling a kingdom is just like a game. So play your cards right, the ball's in your court. Don't be caught off sides or mix your metaphors. You're the best player the world's ever seen. The best piece in real life chess is the queen. So play your cards right, the ball's in your court. Don't be caught off sides or mix your metaphors. You're the best player the world's ever seen. The best piece in real life chess is the queen. The queen! Oh yeah, the queen. The queen!
Hey, you made it to the end. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I really loved making this. This was the first time in a long time that I loved creating and feel proud of a video that I've made. And I'd love to keep making these. That said, it took me a month to write and record and rewrite and re-record all of this stuff. And that's a very labor-intensive process if only 10 people watch the video. So, if you liked the video, please, the best thing you could do is share it with your friends, tell people about it, use hashtag the CROON, talk to me on Twitter, @BriamGilbert. If you do that, who knows, I might use your name as some of the upcoming characters that go on in the rest of the season. Again, I would love to round out this full 10 episode season. I just need a reason to. So if you want more of the CROON, tell your friends about it. If you don't, hide this away and I'll never make another one again. I promise. Thank you again for watching.